Okay, welcome to the Nagual Zone. I'm Anaam. Today we have something very interesting to talk about. It is the average man's idea of power and control. We'll talk about that first before I introduce to you the warrior's idea of power and control. Because you don't live under the warrior's idea of power and control. You live under the average man's idea of power and control. So as far as your life is concerned, you are influenced by forces set in motion by the average man's understanding and handling of the paradigms of power and control. What are we all used to under the yoke of the parasite? Because the average man's consensus insanity is manufactured ad hoc by the parasite. And what are we used to? We're used to what you see around in the world today. Now, this nonsense that's been going on since March last year is not new. Exactly this script, you'll be amazed. Exactly this script was played out in what used to be called Spanish flu scamdemic. Spanish flu. Back in the World War. It was basically white people's war, but it was the World War. So why not just drag the whole world into it? Spanish flu, same thing. There would be people phoning the police about their neighbors. Oh, they went out without a mask. There would be people, there are photographs on the internet of people with placards and things saying, wear a mask or go to jail. It's right there, black and white photo of these idiots standing there. So, the average man's consensus insanity doesn't change. It is not creative, it's a script. History actually repeats itself because it's a script. It doesn't change, it doesn't evolve. It is like the Truman Show, it is like the Matrix, it is frozen in time. Only the level of technological access changes, and that, you better believe, is totally in the hands of the parasite. The access that if you were in the top levels of the military in the world or any of the military industrial complex, access to the kind of technology you would have would be, let's just say, very, very different to what you buy iPhone 13 and this cutting edge technology, iPhone 13. It's all nonsense. You are getting the most second-hand you know all this. You're getting the most second-hand idiotic technology that you're getting the really rubbish so that money can be made off of you. And the average man, when this technology is released, we all know what these people do. They are beating each other outside iPhone stores, camping overnight outside iPhone, Apple stores in order to grab the latest iPhone. You know, that's the pitiable state of the average man's consensus insanity. The word control is understood in the average man's world as in a very different way than the word power. In the average man's world, these two words are one and the same. Power and control. The more power you have, the more control you have. I get to control people. I control situations. I control, right? Because it's obvious, right? But the more power, the more control. And that's the very thing that is a big flaw, because in reality, these two are very, very different. What does the average man seek to do? The average man does not seek power. The parasite does not seek power. The parasite seeks control. Everyone is seeking control. And then everyone experiences this sense of power. If I can control my employees, control my business. What is control? Whatever arbitrary wishes you have in your idiotic head, they should come true. You call that control. Think about it. For you, what is control? Whatever arbitrary wishes and hopes and dreams you got in your head, they have to come true. And then you will feel that you're in control. Right? Your behavior must be according to your arbitrary, scripted by the parasite wishes. Then you will say, I'm in control. Your kids have to behave exactly like you want them to. That means they are in your control. Control. It's basically what the average man means when they say control. They mean manipulation. Manipulation. If I can manipulate, coerce, bribe, by hook or by crook, make things go my way, then I have power and I have control. Right? This is the way the parasite's mind thinks. And it's not how reality flows. It's just not how reality flows. Power and control are two very separate things. And once you see the warrior's perspective on these two words, you'll have a Sherlock Holmes moment where, once Sherlock Holmes' deductions are explained, Watson goes, oh wow, it's so simple. But when he's actually Sherlock Holmes is doing his deductions, it's all very like, how could you know that? It's the same. You will see once you see the warrior's perspective on this, it'll make so much sense to you that you will hopefully forever abandon this awful brainwashing that you have, this spell. That's why they call it a spell, hypnotic spell. It's black magic. And the world around you will look very different to you, hopefully. Power and control are not the same. As long as you're seeking control, you're selling yourself short. You're literally signing that paper, your soul to the devil. What is that story all about? It's about control. It's not about power. It's about control. The more control, the more sense of power you're going to experience. If you look around the world, you will see this being played out right now. Nowadays, people literally wear their fear on their face. It's easy to see. Aha! It's a symbol. I am afraid is what people wear. Right? People literally wear their fear on their face. And what is the main fear? I never once since March last year, I have not met one person who wore their fear on their face because they were afraid of any disease. But I always 110, 200% every single time, without exception, found the average man wearing their fear on their face because they were afraid of what will others think. And you know damn well that it's true what I'm saying, because you have found the same. If you're not part of the zombies, the brain dead zombies, then you know that what I'm saying is exactly true. That's admirable control. I admire that level of control. That, what is it now, 80, 90 years of TV programming, 80 to 90 years, that's say 7-8 generations, plus radio programs. That'll prime a population for this level of control, easy. Easy. I admire that. I really do. I admire, it's fantastic. Now, fact aside that it is a data gathering exercise, the real agenda is chipping. And that will only be allowed to be talked about when the parasite is ready. Right now, no one will talk about chipping. But I promise you that that's the real. This is data gathering. This is social experimentation. And data gathering and priming human bodies through certain nanites to receive, so that the chip can house itself, and the body becomes the antenna, the electromagnetic antenna for the global AI to receive through the chip, information through the chip. But that will all only when people are allowed to talk about it, you will suddenly find everyone being concerned about the chips. Say no to chipping. And there'll be others saying, oh, you don't care about the human race. Have you not got your chip? Oh, you are a conspiracy theorist. It'll be the exact same script. Same thing. Same thing. But it'll be a lot worse because it'll be for real. That will be because that's the actual thing. But you know what? There's nothing you can do about it. There's no good news there. The good news I will share with you later, and I have been sharing for a long time now. If you haven't latched on to what the good news is in all of this, then you know what? You deserve to be chipped. I would chip you. You deserve to be chipped, vaxxed, and neutered. You deserve it, because that's what's coming. You deserve this. You're dumb. You deserve it. You're dumb. What can you do? Dumb people need to be controlled. You're not responsible enough about your freedom. So there's, I would prey upon people like that easily. It's free energy. Why not? Free resources. I don't do it because I don't need it, but it's easy. So let's really get our perspective straight that control is all about manipulation. In reality, control, as the average man understands it, doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. This word doesn't exist in reality. And I'll explain. It'll become clear from the warrior's perspective when we go there. So in the average man's world, the more you can manipulate, coerce, and bribe, the more the average man thinks, I've got power. It's nonsensical, amateurish, foolish, juvenile. And the biggest of the big names think that that is the extent of their ambitions, right? To manipulate, coerce, and bribe. A combination of these three in order to experience some sense of power. These people think that's power. Warriors don't think that's power, right? Now here's the warrior's perspective on all this. For warriors, power has to do with another word, which is the secret key to understanding this. Can you guess what that word is? Choice. For warriors, power equals choice. There's no other power for warriors. All else is just trying to grab water and hold it in your hand. Can't be done. You can try and grab water, nothing like it will slip out. Everything else is that. The warrior is concerned with only one kind of power. Choice. Choice. The only way the Toltecs and other mystery schools, other traditions have also discovered this. The only way to create or access the power of choice, the power of choice it's called, the power of choice. The only way to access or create that power of choice, can you guess now what that is? Awareness. Soon as you are aware, you are now at choice. You see how that works? That is why for warriors, awareness is the trump card, the ace card. Nothing is higher than awareness. Nothing trumps awareness. Because awareness gives you the ultimate power, which is the power of choice. Noticing power. It's a power. As soon as you notice something, you're aware. Your attention has gone to it. You're now aware. Now you have a choice. And that choice will loosely fall into three categories. Ignore it, do something about it, or sit on the fence and observe it. Now the three breakdowns of choice, I'll do a separate video on this probably next week or the week after. Right? But here, let us concern ourselves with the understanding that for the warrior, choice is the true power. And choice only can come from awareness. The power to choose. Now here's the funny thing about control and power. In the average man's consensus insanity, control and power have to do with taking away choice. As I've repeated again and again over time, the warrior's world, flip everything around the right side up. In the warrior's world, true power lies in giving choice. In giving choice. If you meet a genuine warrior, you will always and every time walk away being a little bit more aware than you were. Watch this trend. If you know genuine warriors in your life, watch this trend, this pattern. Every time you interact with them, by hook or by crook, you will come away just a little bit richer in awareness. Self-awareness usually, because there is no other awareness anyway, right? Being a warrior means being someone who constantly gives choices, empowers people with choices. And you don't go around empowering. Warriors don't care about that. It's because the warrior is constantly empowering themselves, himself with the power of choice. Then it flows out. It's easy. You become like that. You become like that. In the average man's consensus insanity, the word choice is confused with codependent enabling. In the warrior's world, codependency and enabling don't exist. There's choice. Choice comes implied with self-responsibility. Has nothing to do with enabling and politeness. I don't judge, man. I don't judge people, man. Man, you can't judge, man. You don't judge me. Who are you to judge me? Oh, come on, man. You are immature idiots. And you are losers. You know why? You are immature because a mature adult doesn't indulge in that way. Idiots, the dictionary word of idiots, is someone who has intelligence but behaves as if they don't. Immature idiots. Right? The warrior obviously has no time for such things. So the power of choice is always offered because the warrior doesn't care. The warrior doesn't care. The warrior doesn't care. Live or die, it's got nothing to do with me. I'm not here to save you. Who do you think I am? I got no time for all this. Here's a bit of awareness and choice. Do what you will with it. You can piss on it, or you can put it on a pedestal, or shine it and put it where you can look at it every day and feel great about it, but never do anything. Do what you like. It doesn't matter. But that is exactly why the warrior can afford to be the way they are. Anyone who's invested in giving you the power of choice, they are to save you, or they got a big fucking beard and they tell you give you a new Indian name and give you robes to wear, or you come and go and live in their stupid ashram and all this. That's all they're invested. That's a self-employed person. You're paying for their services. That's a different transaction altogether. There's no empowerment going on there at all. You'll get qualified as some piddly yoga. You do some yoga course with them or some nonsense like that, or nothing will change. You will stay completely fucked up inside till you die. I see this a lot. People go to India to these gurus. They do yoga courses and life courses. How do you do a course in life? Someone explained that to me in the first. Just because I got a beard and I'm Indian, what gives me the qualification to offer a life course, a course on life? Doesn't that tell you how idiotic I am, actually? Right? A course on life. Beware of experiences masquerading as giving you choice, but not actually giving you choice. And you know exactly what I mean. Women have hooked up with men, men have hooked up with women, you've married these people, you've had kids with them, you've paid these gurus a lot of money, you've done their stupid tantra courses and all the nonsensical courses, Isha Foundation and Bisha Foundation and Tisha Foundation and all these foundations and mother this and that. You've done it all, haven't you? You've done it all, but nothing happens because these are pretending to give you choice. You never actually arrive at any sober, pragmatic choice power within you. You still don't know your ass from your elbow, do you? After all the stuff. When it really comes down to it, you don't know what's going on. Because it is not possible to know. That's the problem. These things are average man's consensus insanities, pretending to give you a measure of control, hence power. But the warrior understands you cannot get, that is chasing phantoms. You can't control anything in your life. Really, you can't. You can't. Things will touch you, whether you like it or not. People will touch you. Things will touch you. Places will touch you. Every moment will touch you, whether you like it or not. Do you have any control over this moment? What kind of insanity is that? This moment is touching you whether you like it or not. Try and run away from it. Do the next Isha course or whatever life course. Do it. Let's see if you gain more control over this moment. Let's see that. The only control the warriors say you can have is the control, the choice, the power to be impeccable with the things you touch. Be impeccable with the things you touch. You touch a million things each day with your feelings, your mind, your body, your senses. Wouldn't it be much more useful, empowering, to simply focus on being impeccable with the things that you touch? And stop seeking to control the things that touch you. That is what the warrior means by personal power, by power. Control doesn't even come into it. And even that warriors contend that there is a power beyond us, that moves us. Not everyone has access to Toltec knowledge, but not everyone is cut out for it. You know, not everyone is cut out for everything. So there's a greater wind that blows, that moves, puts forces in motion. You know, and as if you can just give up the average man's insane idea of power and control, which is nothing but bribery, coercion, and manipulation. Think about it in your own life. You've done this to others. Bribery, manipulation, and coercion in order to get what you want. In order for this moment to fit the way you want it to be. This moment has to fit the way I want it to be. Otherwise, I'm either going to throw a tantrum or I'm going to, have some kind of blowout. I'm going to basically throw a tantrum. But that's amateurish. Only amateurish idiots do that, right? Flip that around. Do the warrior's way. Just seek to be impeccable with the things you are touching throughout the day. Don't worry about controlling anything. Don't worry about any power, anything. As long as you are putting yourself at choice. Do I choose to be impeccable with what I've just become aware of? That's power enough. Trust me, you don't need any other kind of power anyway. All other power is Hollywood kind of romance. You know, Bourne. Everyone wants to be Jason Bourne. I don't know how Jason Bourne came into this. I like that movie a lot. Anyway, so, it's move into being impeccable the best you can. There's no formula for impeccability. Do the best you can with the conscience that is alive in you. Bring a level of presence into it. You will be at choice. You will acquire the power of choice. And once you live like that, you will have no choice but to give choice to others. You will never seek to control anyone, manipulate them, coerce them, bribe them in order to feel that you are powerful. You won't need to do that. You won't need to do that. Right? Now there's countless real life examples of this. Nothing's coming to mind right now. However, if you have any real life examples of this topic in your life where you've been able to switch from the average man's consensus insanity, which takes away choice, it is insane, it is not empowering in any way, shape or form, to the warrior's reality, which gives choice, because the warrior is untethered. There's no agenda. I don't need to manipulate, coerce, or one doesn't need to manipulate, coerce, and bribe so that this moment should fit the way I want it to. It's the most insane way to live. You will be extremely unhappy if you live that way, and you will never you'll never live a good life. It's just not possible. You live a scripted life, but never a good life. Certainly not a free life. Let me know in the comments below if you have real life examples of this, concrete examples of this. Otherwise, I wish I had some examples in the Zoom talk now. I'm sure some of the attendees may have some examples, which is an added incentive. Come and join these Sunday Zoom talks. This is just a little talk that you are getting on YouTube. The real action is going to start now with the question and answers with the group. And it's a great group. Come and join these guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a fantastic, almost like a community that has happened. So come, you'll enjoy it, and the real work happens in the question and answers. With that, walk in freedom. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye for now.